Hi, I'm Robert Stanko. We're here at Hamakua Mushrooms. I'm the owner of the facility here, as well as the food safety guy and the mechanic, etc.
On this farm tour episode, we ventured out to the east side of the Big Island to visit Hamakua Mushrooms in Lapahoihoi. On this visit, I brought along a few special friends, Chad Yamamoto, executive chef at Merriman's Waimea, and Rocky Toledo, also a chef from Merriman's. Oh yeah, and Chef Dad Jason Kaneko.
When I first came to Hawaii, it was in '75 at Barbers Point, Hawaii, U.S. Navy, and I'm one of those guys that never left. I was a flight instructor in San Diego after I was discharged in San Diego. And I met a guy named Doc Matson, who was friends with a Hawaii Pacific helicopter owner at the time. They were looking for a pilot mechanic, and that brought me right back to Hawaii. And that's where I've never left since then. That's when I was exposed to the foods here in Hawaii, all the cultural foods. And it was an amazing mix. So I kind of really got into that idea of growing, doing something. So I thought, okay, mushrooms. So anyway, '96 sold the helicopter company. Met Janice. Janice is an interior designer. I was a helicopter guy by trade, but I told her about the dream of doing a mushroom farm. Bought the property in '99, incorporated in 2000. First mushrooms came out in 2003, and we've been doing it ever since. Here, the farm is 35 acres on the Hamakua coast. We're about a 700-foot elevation, and we have 16 to 18 people employed.
18. Bob and Janice's story is a super interesting one. I mean, from helicopters to mushrooms, but they managed to pull it off, and this farm is bustling. Now, I wanted to learn more.
The mushroom steak is they start from the raw ingredients and all. So let's just go right around this way. This is where we make, or mix everything rather, all the substrates for our bottles. And behind you here, or in front of us, is where we empty the bottles after they've been harvested. And that's what Lonnie's doing. But we use the Japanese bottle cultivation method. That's these trays here of 16 bottles per tray. They're polypropylene bottles. We've been using them since 2003. The older the bottle, the yellower. And then when one cracks or breaks, we put in a new one, and that's where it gets to be a lighter color. But all developed in Japan. All of our machines here are from Japan. We bake a cake here with a mixer. We have 8 ingredients that go into the mix, all organic, and the main ingredients are sawdust, wheat bran, and corn cob. Then we have other things like peat moss, we add okara, different things in different quantities. We mix it for about an hour and a half and add water until we get the right moisture content. Then we convey it over to the bottle filling machine back behind us. Plungers are activated to push the substrate through the holes in this machine into the bottle. It fills each bottle with the same amount, so therefore we get the same yield. Then it goes to the next phase here we call the hole maker, and that puts a hole down the middle of the substrate, the sawdust substrate, and that's where the spawn or the seed goes when we seed it in there. So it falls down that hole, so it grows from the inside out instead of from just the top to the bottom. But we put the spawn on the top of the bottle. It would take a long time for it to grow or colonize and get all the way down to the bottom of the bottle. But by sticking it in the middle, it grows from the inside out and only has to travel about 1.5 inches until it meets the edges or the ends of the jars. Yeah. And the whole thing's colonized very quickly. And then it goes into our autoclave over here where we sterilize it, and we bring it up to 250 degrees for an hour and a half. About 15 to 20 psi, and that kills all molds, bacteria, spores, and anything that's it's just so the mushrooms the mushroom spawn gets the nutrients of the jar.
Now it was time to see the inside of Hamakua Mushrooms, but not before sanitizing. Man, this place was cool. We saw the raw ingredient process outside, but the inside of this place is more like a science lab.
Now this is actually incubation right here. Oh. But back around the corner is a cool down room. And then once everything's cool, we put it on the conveyor. It goes through a little puka in the wall to the seeding machine. Beautiful machine. It's the new version we got. It's all pneumatic. It's 4,000 bottles in an hour. Super fast. And so as the tray goes through, it pulls up a row of 4 caps and a little auger spin and about 2 tablespoons of spawn. Hit the top of the jar, fall down that hole, and then snap the cap back on that I was talking about. Then we bring them out here where they sit for 4 weeks. And it goes from the dark brown once again to, see these bottles here are all ready. See, they're all white. That's the mushroom root structure, also known as mycelium. Nutrition already. So that's what we're doing here. We gave it all the nutrition it needs. It's ready to go. The temperature is incubation, and by dropping it in the cool grow room, that initiates the growth. So we made it like it got cool overnight, and now it's ready to go.
And now, the money shot. Look at this grow room. If you didn't realize that ali'i mushrooms grew in bottles, well, you're welcome. There's a few other processes that happen before the mushrooms get into this room, but we'll leave those a secret. Now, Bob, bring it home with your science talk.
So we turn it upside down to protect it. But also, when it's growing, it produces CO2. CO2, though, is heavier than air, so it falls away at this point where we exhaust it with the fan there. If we grew the bottles like this, it would get a little layer of CO2 right in the top, and the mushrooms would abort. They just stop. So, yeah, weird stuff. All these little things you got to discover the hard way sometimes.
The moment I've been waiting for, my very own harvest.
Big tight grip and twist to the left. There you go. That's it. And that's what we do with every single one.
So then you guys would just, these are ready to package and go?
Yeah, we have a little knife, we'll trim it, and then it goes into the bags, 2 3-pound bags per box for the chefs, or into a big bin, and we take it in the packing room and put it in tills.
So with everything going on right now, how does it affect your farm?
Well, we're down to basically 0 restaurant sales right now. So that was the bulk of our 5,000 plus pounds a week.
So just more retail instead of restaurants?
No restaurants right now, actually 0. Yeah, which is really sad, for everybody involved. But everybody's eating at home.
At the end of this educational tour, we each walked out with an abundance of mushrooms, but also a greater appreciation for this craft. By the way, who are you talking to, Dad? Remember to support your local farmers. Special thanks to Bob and Janice and the team at Hamakua Mushrooms. You truly are inspirational and experts at what you do. Until next time.